Welcome to this presentation about the Master of Science in Occupational Therapy at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. My name is Lynn Wakeford, and I'm the admissions coordinator. There is a handout document that may be useful as you listen to this video recording, and that is linked on the same page with the video. Included in the handout are documents about the UNC OT curriculum, such as curriculum themes and courses, as well as the mission and philosophy statements of the Division of Occupational Science and Occupational Therapy. The handout also includes information about the application process and requirements. All of the handouts, as well as other information, are also provided on our website under the Prospective Students/MS Program menu selections. Following a brief big picture introduction to the Division of OS and OT, I will do a short overview of the MSOT program and then talk about application timelines and what is required in order to apply. I'll then point out where additional resources are provided on our website and offer some suggestions for those interested in occupational therapy as a career and/or applying to the UNC OT program. The UNC Master of Science in Occupational Therapy started in 1978, with the first class graduating in 1980. The program was one of the first entry-level master's programs in the United States. Over the years, the curriculum has been updated multiple times to stay ahead of anticipated changes in the profession, in healthcare, and in higher education, but it has continued to be a two-year, full-time, in-person program designed for people with an undergraduate degree in any field. The Student Occupational Therapy Association, or SOTA, is a long-standing group, and in 2017, students formed their own chapter of COTAD, the Coalition of Occupational Therapists Advocating for Diversity, which is a national organization. Currently, the program has 9 full-time faculty, as well as several adjunct instructors and multiple fieldwork educators. In 2006, the division started the PhD in Occupational Science, further expanding our capacity for teaching, research, and preparing new scholars in the field. The division also continues to expand its capacity for community engagement and partnering with other programs both within and outside of the university. One example of this is our partnership with Novant Health, the purpose of which is to increase the number of OTs practicing in southeastern North Carolina, helping to reduce the health inequities experienced by people living in those areas. Faculty are also connected with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, Community Partnerships in Aging, the UNC Accessibility and Resource Office, the Carolina Institute of Developmental Disabilities, the Heels Up Transition Program for young adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and the Department of Endocrinology in the School of Medicine. Within our teaching, research, and service activities, faculty in the division maintain core commitments to the concepts of occupation, humans as occupational beings, occupation-based practice, ethics, justice, and care, and to community partnerships and practices. Next, I'll provide a short overview of the OT curriculum and direct you to handouts that provide more information. On this slide, there is an overview diagram of the themes and philosophies for the MSOT curriculum. There is a document in the handout that provides more information about each of the curriculum themes, and that document is also available on our website. Briefly, our curriculum themes include occupation, context and community, human capacities for action, ethics, justice and care, leadership and collaboration, inquiry and scholarship, and therapeutic processes. These themes are woven into coursework and fieldwork experiences over the 2-year program, although for each individual course, some themes show up more than others. The philosophies or perspectives that provide a foundation for the curriculum include life course theory, critical theory, and a transactional perspective. Also listed on this slide are the courses offered within the curriculum and a very brief explanation of Level 1 and Level 2 fieldwork. In the handout, there's a document that has courses listed by semester as well as course descriptions, and there's a fieldwork overview handout as well. The next section of this presentation is about the timelines for the admissions process and application requirements. This slide reflects the timeline of the admissions process, which runs from July of each year when the application software opens through February when admission offers are finalized. We only have one admission cycle per year and don't have an early decision option. In order to apply to the UNC OT program, prospective students must complete an application in OTCAS, the OT Common Application System, which includes all of the materials required by the OT program itself, and then complete an additional application to the graduate school at UNC. The graduate school application includes only a few items, but applicants must pay the application fee to OTCAS and to the UNC Graduate School in order to apply, and must be accepted by both the OT program and the graduate school. This actually sounds more complicated than it is, because once a prospective student has completed and submitted their application in OTCAS, that application is uploaded to the graduate school application software, and an email is sent to the applicant explaining how to complete the graduate school application. The deadline for applications to be complete and submitted in OTCAS is generally in early November, and the deadline for the graduate school application to be completed is mid-November. Applicants should wait for the email from the graduate school to begin the graduate school application. Faculty will complete application reviews in late November and early December so that applicants can be notified prior to the first week in January. 50 to 60 applicants will be invited to interview, and those interviews will occur in late January so that admission and waitlist offers can be made at the beginning of February. We offer admission to 24 students per year and typically have 10 to 12 people on the waiting list. The required materials are listed here, and all of these are submitted in the OTCAS application. There is a handout in the packet that details the content for the OTCAS application, and a second handout that provides information about the prerequisites. There are 8 prerequisites, 7 of which are academic courses. These do not all have to be completed when a student applies, but the most competitive candidates only have 1 or 2 courses left to complete if they haven't finished them all. And generally it's advantageous to have all of the fixed prerequisite courses completed. The next slide will provide more details about these 7 prerequisites. The 8th prerequisite course does not have to be taken for credit or a grade, but must be a typical teacher, multiple learners type of class. I'll provide more information about the occupation prerequisite a little later in this presentation. Applicants are asked to submit a current resume, 3 letters of recommendation, one of which must be from an OT or OT assistant, and documentation of their experiences with OT, such as shadowing or observation. There are 2 essays that are required in the application. One is a statement of purpose essay that is part of OTCAS and is the same for all OT programs. And the second is specific to the UNC program and is related to the occupation prerequisite. The application also includes 4 short answer questions, which I'll talk about a bit more with another slide. This slide gives an overview of the prerequisite courses, 4 of which are fixed, meaning that only courses with that specific content are accepted for the prerequisite. The other 3 prerequisites are essentially categories of content rather than specific courses, so there are a number of courses that are acceptable for those prerequisites. All of the prerequisites must have been taken within 5 years prior to applying to the OT program. Fixed prerequisites include 2 courses in human anatomy and physiology, and one of those courses must include a lab experience. Depending on where the courses are taken, they may be organized as Anatomy and Physiology 1 and 2, or they may be split so that anatomy is one semester and physiology is covered in a different semester. Either course combination is fine. The fixed prerequisites also include a basic statistics course that covers descriptive and inferential or probability statistical methods. Usually courses called Introduction to Statistics or Statistics 1 are good for this prerequisite, but sometimes courses called Research Methods or something similar will work. The last fixed prerequisites is in psychopathology or abnormal psychology. And this needs to be a basic course that covers a range of psychological and behavioral conditions across much of the lifespan. Flexible prerequisites include a course related to individual human behavior or development, a course related to how social, cultural, political, and so on systems influence behavior, and a course related to the process of reasoning, analyzing, problem solving, or comparing. Basically, a course that makes use of flexible thinking and multiple perspectives on a topic. There are examples of these provided in the prerequisites handout that is in the packet that goes with this video and also on our website on the prerequisites page. If an applicant isn't sure that the course they have taken or plan to take will meet the prerequisite requirements, there's a form they can complete that is linked on the prerequisites page of our website. That form then gets submitted to our OSInfo email, and we can review that course and let the student know if the course satisfies the prerequisite criteria. There also is a document linked on the prerequisite page for potential applicants who wish to have the 5-year rule waived for one or more of the prerequisites. Waiver requests are designed to give credit to applicants who may have taken a course more than 5 years ago, but have consistently been using that knowledge since that time, so they are essentially up to speed in that area. Waiver requests are not granted easily, as we want all students to enter the program prepared and ready with prerequisite knowledge so that no one is having to catch up on any content from the beginning. However, there are times when retaking a particular course would be redundant for an applicant, such as a practicing massage therapist who took their anatomy and physiology courses more than 5 years ago, but must use that content consistently in their practice and take continuing education in that area to keep their massage therapy license. The occupation prerequisite gives applicants a unique opportunity to experience the learning of a new occupation in a way that has some similarities to how OT clients may experience learning a new occupation or learning to do an old occupation in a new way. For this reason, we want you to choose something that's new to you and perhaps pushes you a bit out of your comfort zone. The learning of this new occupation should be structured and intentional, with an instructor who has expertise in the occupation and other people who are learning at the same time. While this class format must be present, it does not have to be a class taken for credit or a grade, so it can be taken in a non-academic setting. The class should meet at least weekly for at least 6 weeks, giving students a sense of the rhythm of direct instruction and practice on your own in between time. There should be a goal or product or specific outcome from the class, something that represents accomplishment. And you must be learning to do something, not just to think about or learn about it. Lastly, occupation you learn should be something that is just for you, something you personally choose to learn for yourself rather than something that is targeted toward others. For that reason, any classes that are associated with a therapy, like recreation therapy, art therapy, music therapy, creating adapted materials, or classes that are related to language learning, such as sign language or Spanish, etc., or classes that are related to teaching, training, or communication with others, do not meet the criteria for the occupation prerequisite. If you have a question about whether the occupation you are considering does meet the criteria, please feel free to use the prerequisite check form mentioned earlier that is linked to the prerequisite page of our website. Also, the video linked on that page will give you an idea of what some former students have taken to satisfy this requirement and what they learned from it. For the sake of full transparency and to give applicants the best chance possible to submit a strong application, we do post a handout on our website that outlines the content of the essay and short answer question prompts. The first question here is the one that's part of the OTCAS application for all programs. Explain why you selected occupational therapy as a career and how an occupational therapy degree relates to your immediate and long-term professional goals. Describe how your personal, educational, and professional background will help you achieve your goals. The second question is a short essay that is just on the UNC part of the OTCAS application, and it's designed to have you reflect on and write about your experience in the occupation prerequisite. Please note that there are essentially 5 parts to this prompt, so be sure that you address all of them in your essay. Reflect on 1. The challenges of learning a new occupation. 2. How the method of instruction helped or hindered learning. 3. The influence of other learners. 4. How you felt about the outcome you created or achieved. And 5. How this experience expanded your understanding of occupation, humans as occupational beings, and/or occupation as a key to wellness. These are the short answer questions. Please note that several of them have more than one part, asking you to reflect on and write about something, and then also give an example. For instance, the first question asks you to give an overview of your experiences with people different from yourself and identify something you learned from those experiences and give an example of how you learned. The second question is focused on your experiences, strengths, and challenges in working as part of a group or team. And the third question is focused on how you manage challenges and generate solutions to problems you encounter. Both of these questions also ask for an example. The final question is about why you have chosen to apply to the UNC MSOT program, and what about the program attracts you or seems to fit who you are and who you want to be as an OT. Rather than identifying this requirement as OT observation hours or something similar, we're calling it experiences with OT. In part, this is because while observation or shadowing is a great way to learn more about OT and come to have a basic understanding of the profession, it is difficult for some prospective applicants to get a lot of observation hours. This happens for many reasons, but there are other ways to learn about OT, so we want to allow those as well as observation and shadowing hours. Other activities that we accept as OT experiences include webinars, workshops, conference sessions, etc., that are specific to the practice of OT. Please note that we appreciate observation of or learning about health professions other than OT, and you can list those on your resume. They do not count as experiences with OT. The intent of your experience with OT should be to get a good beginning understanding of both the breadth and the depth of OT practice. This means seeing OT practiced in various settings, as well as seeing more than just direct client services. OTs engage in many activities that serve their clients that are not directly with their clients. This includes creating adapted materials, finding resources, writing letters of medical necessity so that insurance will pay for equipment they need, attending meetings, calling and conferring with other care providers, and so on. It's very helpful for a prospective OT student to see some variety of the things that OTs do besides just direct intervention. Because what we want to see is that there is some depth and some breadth in an applicant's experiences with OT, we do not require a certain number of hours, but rather are looking for variety in those experiences. Remember that the main reason for this requirement is so that you have enough experience and knowledge to know whether OT is the right career choice for you. We don't want you to commit to a graduate program for a profession that you aren't sure is where you want to be. The final portions of this presentation are about additional resources and suggestions. This slide shows a screenshot of the menu on the left side of the page on our website when you are in the MS program portion of the site. On that main MS program page, there is a document link there that gives some information about the similarities and differences between an entry-level master's program and an entry-level doctorate. Other information that you may find helpful is pointed out here in terms of where you will find it on our webpage. Some of these items are included in the handout that goes with this presentation as well. These suggestions are offered mainly so that prospective student applicants can learn more about both OT and about the schools they may want to attend. Every OT school has different things to offer and a different feel, and even though all of them have to meet the same educational standards, the curriculum for each program is unique to that program. Take your time and figure out where is the best fit for you in multiple ways, including how much you will pay for your education, what philosophies or ideas about OT practice are most similar to yours, and where you are likely to feel a sense of belonging and potential for success. Thank you for your attention. After reviewing this presentation and the other information from our website, if you have questions, please feel free to email them to osinfo@med.unc.edu, and we will respond as quickly as possible.